Welcome to Divine Love Tarot. I want to thank you and welcome you to my channel, whether it's your first time here or you return viewer or subscriber. I hope that this message resonates and helps you in some way. And if you find that it doesn't, just keep in mind that this is a general reading and they do not resonate for everyone. And you may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, or even your Venus sign, because sometimes those are more prominent in your chart. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hey there, Scorpio. Ooh, card's about to fall over. Welcome to your December relationship reading. Okay, guys, let's get into the reading. Just keep in mind that it is a relationship reading, which means you have to be in some sort of relationship with someone, whether it's a marriage, you've been dating, you just met someone, you're long distance, or you've just broken up. There's actually someone in the picture. If you haven't been with someone for a very long time, wait around for the love readings. This probably isn't going to resonate for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first card is going to represent your current energy. The 10. Ooh. Oh, this is interesting. I already saw something. Cards that are jumping out are cards that I saw in another reading, and I know they correspond with each other, but I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna play with the deck, and I'm just gonna see how this reading plays out after I put those cards back. All right, let's go ahead and cut this up. First card represents the current energy right now, Scorpio. We've got the World in reverse. Next card represents what they are thinking. We've got the 8 of Wands in the reverse. Next card represents what they're feeling, though. We've got the Ace of Cups. Next card represents what they're showing you, Page of Wands. You're showing the King of Wands. You're feeling the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And you are thinking the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. All right, guys. So let's get into it. With the World in reverse here, I feel like there's some stagnation going on in this particular situation, okay? Things are kind of stagnant right now. They're not moving. They're not progressing. Either they're not progressing how you would like them to be, or they're just not progressing how you thought they would, or they're not progressing at all. It could even indicate a breakup, okay? The World in reverse just indicates, it could be a situation where you guys are just not on the same page. World in reverse indicates that you guys don't feel that completeness, okay? You don't feel that togetherness as a couple. Let's go ahead and clarify that. I got so much going on my desk right now you wouldn't even believe. Okay. Clarify this World card in reverse, and we get the 8 of Swords in reverse. But there's no more illusions going on in this situation, okay? There's some type of clarity that has been had. So it seems like whatever it is, whatever the stagnation is, you're both aware. If it's a breakup, you're both aware why the situation has gone down the way it has. With the 8 of Swords, it's about no longer being trapped. It's about no more indecision. All right. So the 8 of Swords in reverse, it's about letting go. Okay. But it's also about letting go of anything that has limited you. So I think maybe, you guys have recognized maybe what's causing the stagnation in a relationship. And now that you've recognized it, you are free to move things forward. So that's a good sign. So maybe, like I said, it could be a few scenarios, but as the reading goes on, I think it'll become more clear what's really going on. All right, so what they're thinking is the 8 of Wands. I'm sorry, the 8 of Wands in the reverse. So sometimes the 8 of Wands in reverse is about, realizing that you might have rushed into a situation, realizing that you might have let your feelings get the best of you and moved. Things just moved a little bit too quickly. The 8 of Wands represents, lack of progress. It represents a lack of romance. It represents a relationship that's kind of lost a little bit of momentum. All right. So this other person is thinking, yeah, they've noticed that things have been a little bit stagnant. They've noticed that the steam, engine has kind of slowed down as far as the relationship is concerned. And they may be thinking that you guys probably rushed into things, or, took things a lot faster. Maybe you could have gone a little bit more slowly, and then you wouldn't have hit the wall, right? We go ahead and clarify that. We get the Hanged Man in the reverse. So this person feels like they got caught up in something. All right. The Hanged Man in reverse kind of can be a victim. It's like the victim card sometime. It's someone who's kind of disenchanted from the whole situation, okay? And they may be being overly dramatic about it, but I feel like with this Eight of Wands in the reverse combination, it's somebody who's just realizing that they may have overly romanticized the situation. And it's nothing. It's not a fault. It's not I'm not gonna say it's not a fault, but it's not a personal thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't take that personal. If somebody has somebody's overly romantic and they romanticize things and they build, castles in the sky, there's not any way that you're going to know that about a person. So them feeling disenchanted about a situation isn't necessarily a reflection of you. Okay. That's just them realizing that, they made more of the situation than it is, or that they were a little bit unrealistic about the situation. But it's more of them taking responsibility for that. That's where the question mark comes in. Now, how they're feeling, though, is the Ace of Cups. So they still have love. There's a lot of love here, okay? There's a lot of love here. The Ace of Cups represents, a spiritual connection. It represents, a lot of possibilities. It represents that there is the possibility, or they at least feel like there's a possibility for, the relationship to bloom and flourish. Or at the very least, they still have very loving and positive feelings towards you, okay? Clarify that we've got the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like there's been some type of relief, like a weight has been lifted now. You know what I'm saying? Like, now that they realize, now that they see what's been causing the stagnation, now that they understand why things have slowed down or why the momentum isn't there, then they can quit worrying about it. Maybe they were worrying about it before, and now, like I said, you can do what you need to do to move forward versus worrying and wonder, oh my God, what's going on? Why are things stagnant? Why are we stuck in a rut? Once you have that understanding, then you can, move forward and take the next step. All right. Now, what they're showing you is the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands can represent, good news. But the Page of Wands also represents, it could be them contemplating what the next steps are. The Page of Wands is like when you're at that place where you need to decide where a relationship is going from here. Okay. Let me go ahead and clarify the Page of Wands. We get the Magician in reverse, but they're showing you a little bit of manipulation. All right. The Magician in reverse is a manipulator. The Magician in reverse is a con man. All right. The Magician in reverse does not play fair. Okay, so what's going on here? The Magician in reverse is a sweet talker. All right, so you may want to be careful. Now, it could be a situation where they may have, the Page of Wands can indicate messages, okay? They've heard something. And what they heard is the Magician in reverse. So for some of you, this could indicate that they've heard something that makes them feel like you are the Magician in reverse. Okay, they heard that you were manipulating them, or and I know this is a stretch because this is what they're showing. But when I see the Page of Wands, which represents, messages, and it's usually supposed to be positive messages. So when I hear, what's the message, and I don't know, maybe I'm taking it in a totally different direction, but it's like they're they may be telling you something that they feel like you want to hear. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what it is. All right? They're telling you, they're giving you these messages, but they're not, it's like they're being manipulative, okay? And maybe this hangman in reverse has something to do with it. You know, maybe they're trying to manipulate the situation because they're trying to get you guys out of the rut, or they're trying to keep you, okay? They don't want you to leave. They don't want you to go anywhere. So they're just going to tell you what it is that you want to hear. All right? What you're showing is the King of Wands. All right? So you're very confident in yourself, Scorpio. You're like, listen, I'm confident. I know what I want. All right? And I know how to get what I want. Okay, the King of Wands is very optimistic. All right, very charming, very good with your words, very passionate, very loyal, dependable, all of that stuff. So you're showing a very strong presence here, Scorpio, which is great. We go ahead and clarify that. We got the Ace of Swords, and you're showing that you're not going to deal with any double talking BS. So if they are trying to manipulate you, you're like, nope. You've got the wrong one, baby. Not me, okay? I don't know. Why am I so animated? Yo, these December readings have really, like, I don't know. They've been... I felt very animated. Like, I can actually feel... you know, like, this King of Wands and the Ace of Swords is like, no, no, no. I don't think you know who you're dealing with, okay? I am the King of Wands. Like, you're not going to double talk me. You're not going to trick me. I'm not falling for any manipulation. The Magician in reverse is no match. The Magician and the Page of Wands as a team cannot affect anything, can't do anything to the King of Wands, okay? So with this Ace of Swords, it's also about mental clarity, okay? You're showing just how clear you are mentally, how you know, clever you are mentally. And, you know, this is not that you're not someone that these little, you know, you can play little games with, all right? You're not the one to be trifled with. It's also about having direction, having a clear direction of where you want to go also. Okay, the Ace of Swords can also indicate taking things in a new direction because it is an ace. So, you know, you have a situation where you do have the Ace of Cups here on this side. So they're ready to take their love in a new direction, and you're ready to take this relationship in a new direction or move away from this relationship into a new direction. All right, because what you're feeling is the Ten of Pentacles. So you're feeling like there's a lack of security here. You're feeling like there's some, you're not feeling very secure with this particular connection. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse can indicate that, you know, there's a lack of security. You know, it's also that card that reinforces that money doesn't buy happiness, right? Let's go ahead and clarify the Ten of Pentacles. And here we go with the King of Swords, which in a love reading isn't the best because it's like your emotions are very either non-existent now in the situation. Like maybe that Ace of Swords is you saying, look, no, you know, I've got too much going on and I'm too much for any BS, okay? I'm not going to take any BS. I'm not going to let you manipulate me. Whatever it is that has been revealed, you know, you're like, look, this is what it is and this is what it isn't. And you're just very clear about that. But when it comes to feelings, the King of Swords, it just doesn't speak well, okay? Because it's more about being cold and aloof and distant. Okay, the King of Swords doesn't really show his feelings. He doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. But if that's what you're feeling internally, I should say, then it's like you're kind of like you're not really trying to connect to your feelings right now. It's almost like you don't want to connect to your feelings because you're not trying to let your feelings be, you know, trifled with this manipulation that this person's coming at you with. You're like, listen, come better than that, okay? I'm not even going to open myself up to being got. Now, what are you thinking? Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So once again, it's about the lack of stability in the situation. All right? The Eight of Pentacles in reverse is, you know, there's a commitment issue here. So whether you think that this other person has commitment issues or whether you have commitment issues, that's what the Eight of Pentacles is in the reverse. It's also a lack of focus. So either you're no longer going to focus on the situation, or you just feel like this person isn't really as focused on this particular relationship, and you're realizing that maybe this relationship isn't a priority to them. But let's clarify that, and we've got the Ten of Wands. So you feel like you think you're kind of shouldering the burden of this relationship, okay? With this Ten of Wands, it's almost like you're at your wit's end with this particular relationship, okay? The Ten of Wands can represent that, you know, you feel like all the spontaneity is gone, all the fun is gone. Maybe, you know, it's almost like you're not going to commit to a situation that feels like a burden, or you don't want to commit to someone who makes you feel like a burden, okay? And so that kind of makes sense, because if this person is feeling like a victim, if this person's feeling like things were stagnant, if this person's feeling like they're losing the momentum, or that you guys rushed into something and, you know, they're trying to manipulate you or make it seem like it's your fault, you're just like, you know what, I don't have time for that. You're not gonna make me feel like I forced you to do something you didn't want to do, or that, you know, we're not both responsible. Like, you're just not in the mood, Scorpio. You're not taking any bullshit. You're like, listen, I don't want to hear all that, because honestly, that's not going to help us move things forward. All right, so it's like I've already entertained enough. I'm not entertaining this situation. And so even though this is what you're thinking, what you're showing is like, no, I'm not going to shoulder the burden of responsibility for whatever's going on in this relationship. Okay, I'm not the donkey. You're not going to pin the tail on the donkey. And I'm done, because I don't know where that came from. So that has been your relationship reading, Scorpio. Looking at the signs, and I see... I see Gemini. I see either Gemini or Virgo with this Magician. You know, possible fire sign here with this Page. You know, unless there's a third party situation, you know, the King of Wands can be... This is you, Scorpio. King of Wands can be a Scorpio, Sagittarius, but a lot of people think it's just any fire sign. But really, you know who this other person is. So I really save that for the love readings. All right, so if you guys want something that's more personalized, if any part of this resonated, you know, it may not all resonate for you because it is a general reading, so every part of it is not necessarily going to be for you. If you would like something more personal, go ahead and contact me for a personal reading. You can contact me at divinelovetarot@gmail.com. All my information is also in the description bar, or you can just leave me a comment on the, you know, on my under the video, and I'll get to you that way. And, you know, guys, try to enjoy your December. You know, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, be safe anyway, and have a Happy New Year. And I will see you guys at the next reading. Bye, Scorpio.